Welcome to the Motherload, aka my workshop. Been wanting to do this video for a while. A few people have asked, so here's a tour of my first ever workshop. Let's start with the doorway, shall we? That's a good angle, isn't it? This is what the shop sees when I come in. It's raining, so I'm not actually going to go outside. So I know we're all excited about the bench tour, but before I do that, the size and measurements of this thing that I built last year summer. So the width of this is 2 meters and 10. For the American viewers is 83 inches. And the length is 3 meters 80, or for my American friends, 150 inches, or whatever that is in feet. And the height is, so I'm about 6'11", so well, this is about 8 feet. Tallest point of the workshop is actually 2 meters 20, and the shortest one is around 2 meters. I'm not gonna spend too much time on here, but credit to the guy on YouTube, I think he's called Proper DIY, who actually inspired me to build a bench very similar to his. I'll show you closer. This is literally the sturdiest bench I think anyone could ever build, because I used 2x6 timber for the frame at the bottom, obviously ply on top, 2x6 doubled legs, all 4 corners, and then a 2x3 at the bottom to hold rubbish on this shelf. But with legs this thick, I mean, Jesus, I don't know how many people could I don't know how many people could sit on this before this thing breaks. Final thing to show about this bench is what I put here. So I store my Hoover here just because I think this is the best place because I use it all the time, and rather than me taking it out, putting it back in, I can use the long, whatever the fuck this is called, to hook it up to my saw or anything else. So that's where I store it, and then the rest is actually just bits of small scraps of wood. I know I could probably do a better job. In fact, I should just build like a box. So rather than me wasting all this space. For anyone that's wondering how long the bench is, it's 1 meter 70 by 700 mil, or 70 centimeters. Next thing you notice, just above the bench is the clamp rack. Yes, that was my second ever build. Not much to the clamp rack really, just besides the fact that it was my second ever build. And can you imagine, this is where I store all my clamps. I know, I definitely don't have enough clamps. Now, moving away from the clamp rack and moving to my right or left, we're gonna stumble onto the busy area. So let me just go through that. So this shelf here I actually didn't build. I think it's a Kallax shelf from IKEA. Again, this was already in the house. We just didn't need it in the house, so I put it in here. And before I had built any other storage or anything, this was the first thing to just put all my shit in. Before, this used to be way messier. Now, bear in mind, I could have cleaned it up for the video. I actually wanted to keep it very authentic, and so I didn't clean it. I literally just pressed record. So what you see is what you get. Let's start from the top. So the top, I've got some books to do my drawings. Video coming on that very soon. Then I got this book I found on Amazon. The Big Book of Weekend Woodworking, 150 easy projects. Not a single project in this book is actually easy. And there's no, I didn't think it would be, yeah, I'll be honest. I need to actually read it, don't I? Yeah, that's probably... As we progress down to the first shelf, so first I've got a box of bullshit, which is actually written on there. Screwdrivers, wrenches, Allen keys, electrical stuff, nice. Chisels, jigsaw blades, brackets, door hinges, and router bits. Here I actually have, initially it was supposed to be like small wood, like stuff for wood. So like wood glue, wheels, giveaway for maybe a video coming soon. More dowels, I think that's what they're called. Carving set that I got for Christmas 2 years ago that I asked for, that I've never ever used. There you go. If anyone wants it, let me know. I'll literally send it to you. First of all, obviously I know we can't light candles in a workshop. Look what I've got. Beat that. New addition that I just got yesterday actually, which is a digital level. Moving down, as you can guess, this is all my sanding gear. So literally all is there is sandpaper for a bunch of different sanders. So the next one, safety first, right? So I've got all my safety goggles, 2 masks for a companion and myself, some gloves and tape, a bunch of different sellotapes, painted tapes, electrical tapes, and some Hoover heads. So moving down, in this compartment here, I've got like oils and paints, brake cleaners, Danish oil, a corner clamp that has come in handy. I don't know what that's here. Actually should be in that shelf. Here, cotton cloths that I used to apply finish with, some tubs to put paint in maybe, mini rotary toolkit that someone just had it and gave it to me. I've actually have used that a few times. This is actually a scam because you think it's a Festool piece of equipment, right? Well, joke's on you because it's actually Packers. There you go. Oh, and of course, a frisbee, because who doesn't have a frisbee in their workshop, right? We're on the bottom level now, so stay with me. And this is actually where all my tubes are. Is that what you call them, tubes? So all the silicones, Paintermate, silicone, glue, and a mastic gun as well. And yeah, and then in there I've got some like loose nails. Last section, very easily, my SDS drill and my grinder. And these are actually the water bottles that I bring to the workshop thinking, oh, I need to drink more when I'm in the workshop, and never end up drinking. You didn't think I was gonna skip past that. My proudest build of the workshop, let alone the workshop, is probably this drill rack. Again, you guessed it, I got the idea of YouTube, so I didn't come up with this. But you can see the design is actually really, really simple. And I freaking love it, it's so good. So I've got a jigsaw, a sander, a nail gun, batteries, and this is where my drills used to go, and other battery power tools, but a lot of the battery power tools I have are actually in my car because I actually use it for work. And then in the corner there, I've got like a little thing that I never use, but I always feel like I need to. This, my square, my hand saws, stuff like that. Moving along to the other storage compartment. So this one I did actually build. Now for this one, I promise you, I used the scraps of the scraps that I had. You can literally see I used treated 2x6 timber. If you take a look, so this is a 2x6 treated, this is a 2x4 treated, this is a 2x6 treated, this is a 2x6 not treated. Even the shelves are different material. I used plywood for this, then I used OSB for this, and an OSB for the top. You know the size of the workshop, so I guess so this is 165, this is 130, and it's 50 centimeters deep. Right, so starting from the top, I've got these legs that you can unfold outside to make a table when you don't have a table or a bench. Then I've got my other tools that I want to keep the boxes for, that have other attachments that I don't want to lose. So I've got my router and my belt sander, which are here. Don't ask me why. I've got two basketballs and American football. American football, I'm not sure why. The basketballs, I am from Lithuania, so I think it's mandatory for me to actually have some basketballs. I have a bunch of MDF boards that I found in the junk section of the B&Q area, so I helped myself. Moving down to the very eye-catching area of the shelf. This section here is self-explanatory. All the screws that I have are here. And most of the time, whenever I need some screws, the size, the exact size I need are never here. So that's great. Tell me if you also find that to be the case, or the screw that you need, or the size screw that you need, tend to be like the one that you have the least of, which means you always have to buy one. Then I've got my ear defenders, my small little workshop hammer, and the fun part. So this was, again, there's a lot more complicated builds on YouTube if you want to find some fancy ones that face out diagonally, that have measurements and all of that. I cut a 2x3 timber in half lengthwise, and then drilled it to the wall, and just cut out some holes for my drill bits and my other bits. So I've got literally all my bit heads here, my countersinks, my drills, pen pencils, squares, and my spade cutters and screwdrivers and other bits and bobs. This section here, my chop saw, when it's not on the table, I normally put it here. Planer, another Christmas tree. Gosh, this thing that I got for Christmas that I still am yet to use, which is actually a vise, some paint and wood dyes like that comes in bigger bottles. And then moving on to the bottom section, that box is just full of firewood, but I don't have a fireplace. This box, I'm not even gonna bother getting out, but I've actually written what's in there, so I know if I need to use any of these items ever, I can literally just read them out and then use them. And the final box here is that I'm not gonna take out, and this is all my painting stuff. Right, guys, so we're moving on to the final wall, pretty much, of the shop. I've got my little motivational painting is a must. Discipline, doing what you should instead of what you want to do. Love that, absolutely love that. A used saw. This is supposed to be decoration. I don't know if it is. To hang my hat. For this video, I've decided to wear one. This corner here, you can imagine, is just scrap wood. It's just bigger sheets of scrap wood. And if we move along the infamous timber rack, this is something I built, inspired from, I think, Pinterest, 3 legs that are screwed to the studs. The reason it's not an even gap is so I can put smaller bits of timber here and a big long timber there. And on top are my homemade, I don't have a plunge saw, so these are my homemade tracks. This one's 900 mil and this one's 2.4 meters. One thing I didn't show though is my bin. So this normally stays where the storage unit is in that corner. Move along, more scraps of wood, a chair that I sit to sometimes rest. I don't know if you can even see me in the shot. The infamous flag, for anyone that doesn't know what this flag is, this is the national, California people know herbas, that's what that is, okay? So that's what the flag is. And then behind, a new addition to the shop that I've just made 2 hours ago. So I had this a while ago, but I never used it. And I thought, wait, you know when I'm making builds, so I have plans that I need to keep, you know, referring to. I have to always look through the book, have the book, keep moving the book. I thought, just take it off the book and pin on the board. That way, whatever project I'm working on, I can refer to it. Bit of motivation from my old board. So I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. This is a fantastic idea. Whenever you feel like I want to record a video, I don't want you guys to see what's on there. Gosh, that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the tour of the workshop. If you're new around here, my name is Mantas and I'm new to woodworking and I want to share my projects, ideas and work that I do. I enjoy making these videos, so I hope you guys enjoy watching them. And if you guys have any suggestions on what things I can maybe add to the workshop or improve, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, drop a subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And boys and girls, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.